Hello children, how are you? So I'm back here with my next video for class 8 on the topic of microorganisms. Here in this particular video, we are going to discuss the harmful effects of microorganisms. We are going to discuss all the harmful effects of the microorganisms. To understand the harmful effects, the first thing we need to know is the word pathogens. What are pathogens? Pathogens are disease-causing microorganisms. So all the microorganisms which will cause disease are called pathogens, or they are also called germs. Germs is the common name and pathogens is a more of a scientific name. So germs is a common name known by everybody. So what are pathogens? Disease causing microorganisms are called pathogens. Now how do these pathogens reach the body of any person, any organism living, that is plant or animal, and they cause the disease over there? So these are the 5 different means by which the pathogens gain entry into the body. The first mean is air. The pathogens may spread in the air, and when a person breathes that air which has got pathogens, the pathogens may gain entry into the healthy body and then grow over there to cause the disease. For example, common cold. When a person with common cold sneezes, he or she releases the pathogens into the air, and then if somebody close to it breathes that air, may also get the pathogens contracted through the air. Then we have pathogens spreading through food and water. Second is food and water. You must have always heard your parents saying, don't eat food from which is kept open, which is unhygienic. So basically the diseases which spread through food and water are because of the contaminated food and water. Contaminated means which is not healthy, which has got some germs because of maybe dirty hands, because of the dirty water used, because the food is not covered. All such cases cause the spread of diseases through food and water. Mainly the diseases which are spread through food and water are the waterborne diseases, and like the stomach infection, like typhoid, etc., spread through contaminated food and water. The next is contact. Through contact also diseases can spread, like common cold, flu. If somebody is suffering from flu or common cold, and another disease, tuberculosis, also spreads through contact. So if a person suffering from such disease is coughing, sneezing, and is his or her hands he has used for coughing, and if we come in contact with such a person, then this disease may spread. We have also heard recently that the coronavirus also it spreads through contact, and therefore this lockdown has been announced, and the people have to keep a distance from each other so that they do not come in contact with anybody else. Then we have diseases which spread through carriers. Now what is the meaning of diseases spreading through carriers? Now carrier is something, if we talk of the dictionary meaning of carrier, carrier means something which is carrying one thing to the other place. Same thing is about the carriers. So carriers themselves do not cause the disease, but they carry with them disease causing microorganisms. For example, we get malaria by the bite of the mosquito, but it is not the mosquito which is actually causing the disease. This disease is caused by a microorganism. Okay, the disease of malaria is caused by a microorganism which is the Plasmodium vivax. The microorganism for malaria is Plasmodium vivax, but it is carried through a mosquito. So malaria occurs through Plasmodium vivax and its carrier is a mosquito. Plasmodium vivax is the causer organism but carried by the mosquito. The name is Anopheles mosquito. Anopheles mosquito. Therefore, we want to protect ourselves from mosquito bites. Then through cuts and wounds. If the person is having some cut on the skin or is having some wound. What is wound? Wound is a jakham. So what happens? That cut or the wound opens the skin and therefore microorganisms can gain entry through those open wounds and cause the disease. So this is how these are the 5 ports through which disease causing organisms can gain entry into the body and then cause various types of diseases. Now we will discuss all the diseases caused by all the microorganisms which we discussed in the previous video. The list of microorganisms we discussed in the previous video. Link can be in the description box, and here we are going to study one by one the diseases caused by these microorganisms. So first I will take the diseases caused by fungus. Okay. Now the diseases caused by fungus. We have already discussed what is fungus. The fungus can cause diseases in plants as well as animals and human beings. So the diseases in plants are like potato blight. Potato blight is a disease in which the leaves of the potato plant are attacked by the fungus and they change their color and they are not green. When the green portion will become less, the rate of photosynthesis will go down and hence the growth of the plant will also go down. Then another example is leaf rust. Leaf rust is a disease in which the leaves of a plant develop brown dots all over it, just as the color of the rust. Same thing happens in this case also. The capability of photosynthesis is reduced. Hence, the growth is also reduced. Then, in animals and human beings, fungal infections are like ringworm. It is a type of infection on the skin. Scalp infection. Scalp means this, the skin of the head. So, it can cause infection in the scalp, like white deposit may take place. Lot of itching may take place, redness can appear in the scalp. Then it causes skin infection. It can cause infection on the skin, that is also irritable, redness appears, itching appears. Athlete foot. Athlete foot is a disease in which the in between the fingers of the foot redness appears. So basically most of the fungal infections are occurring on the skin. They are on the skin. Okay. So next we move to infections through bacteria. Bacteria causes some diseases I have written over here. Then these are the names of the bacteria which cause those diseases and these are the host. Now what is the meaning of host? Means it is occurring in which organism. So we will take the first one, a disease called cholera related to the stomach. It is caused by a bacteria Vibrio cholerae. Be careful of the pronunciation also. Vibrio cholerae. And it occurs in human beings. Okay. Second disease is typhoid. Typhoid is a common disease. Means you must have heard of this disease, but you don't know by whom it is caused. So now you will be in a position to know this also and answer this also. Typhoid is caused by a bacteria Salmonella typhi. Salmonella typhi. And this also occurs in human beings. Then next is the disease tuberculosis, a disease of the lungs in the human beings. It is caused by a bacteria, Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Mycobacterium tuberculosis, and this also occurs in human beings. These are few examples I have quoted. The list may be longer also. Then another disease I have taken over here is anthrax. Anthrax you have studied in the previous class also, when it occurs in the people who are in contact with sheep most of the time. So sheep is also a type of ruminant animal which chews its cud. Anthrax occurs through a bacteria, Bacillus anthracis. Bacillus anthracis, and is usually occurs in the ruminants. Ruminants include sheep, goat, cow, buffalo, all such animals. And through these animals, human beings can also contract this disease. Then one example I have taken of the disease occurring in plants. This is a disease, citrus canker. Citrus canker, it occurs through a bacteria, Xanthomonas axonpodis. Be careful of the pronunciation. Xanthomonas axonpodis. And it occurs in all the citrus tree plants like the lemon, orange, mosme. It attacks the citrus plants. So this is about the bacteria. Now we will come to two more categories. The fungus we have done. Now we move on to virus. Okay, let me quickly get off this. After bacteria, we will discuss virus and protozoa. Algae are plant-like organisms, so they do not cause such diseases. We will not be having these four categories of the disease-causing organisms. Bacteria and fungus we have discussed. Now we move on to the next, the virus. Okay. Now, the diseases caused by virus. Virus are also disease-causing organisms, and one viral disease is flu. Flu or the common cold. Okay. So, this type of disease is caused and it takes time to heal. Virus medicines are very rare and therefore it takes time to heal. Then we have viral fever. You must have heard that viral fever will take 3-4 days because there is no such medicine to kill the virus. Why? I told you in the previous video also that virus use the cell mechanism of the human beings or of the organism in which they have gone. And therefore, if we try to destroy the virus, it destroys the healthy cells of that organism also. Then one more disease caused by virus is the AIDS. The full form of AIDS is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. This is the name of the virus. This is the name of the disease. It is caused by the HIV virus. Okay? And what is the full form of HIV? Anybody knows? Full form of HIV. Human immunovirus. Human immunovirus. This is the full form of HIV. Now, we can also write human immunodeficiency virus. This disease basically causes a deficiency of the immune system. It breaks down the immune system, therefore the person contracts diseases very easily. And now one more disease of virus which you all can at the moment quote very easily is the name of the disease is the COVID-19 disease. Okay, the disease has been named the COVID-19 and is caused by coronavirus. You know much about this disease. This disease requires social distancing because it spreads easily through contact. It requires very good hygiene, washing hands for a long time, and long time means at least 20 seconds. And when we wash our hands with soap or any hand wash, lot of lather, foam should be developed in our hand because that foam destroys the fat layer of the virus and thereby making the virus ineffective. So therefore maintaining personal hygiene is extremely important for this disease COVID-19. The name COVID-19 has been given to it because it came for the first time in the year 2019, December 2019. So I hope this virus part is clear. Then we move on to the next one, that is protozoa. Okay, so the last disease causing organism, the category, that is the protozoans. One protozoa, and the disease which we have just discussed also is, first let me write the heading, protozoa. Now the first disease caused by a protozoa is malaria. You will say malaria is caused by mosquito, but I just told you that mosquitoes are the carrier of the disease causing microorganism. Actually, malaria is caused by a protozoan named Plasmodium. So, Plasmodium is the disease causing microorganism of malaria, but Plasmodium gains entry into the body through the bite of the mosquito because it is carried by the mosquito. When the mosquito sucks the blood from a person who is suffering from malaria, it takes with it Plasmodium also. And then when it goes to other body to suck blood, then it transfers this Plasmodium into the body of that person. Therefore, this is the actual causal organism, and I told you mosquito is a carrier of the disease. Then another disease is entomobiosis. I will let you know the spelling. The disease is amoebiosis only, caused by amoeba. You know what is amoeba? You have studied amoeba. You study amoeba in class 6 also, in class 7 also. So the disease is amoebiasis and is caused by amoeba. The scientific name of amoeba is Entamoeba histolytica. Entamoeba histolytica. This is the name of the microorganism, that is the protozoan, which causes this disease. So in order to keep safe from all sorts of diseases, personal hygiene is one key. Having good immunity is one key. Immunity means being strong from inside. Means if even small diseases try to enter our body, the immunity of the body is the first, you can say, the defense line of the body, because the immunity first tries to fight with the disease. And if the immunity is strong enough, the disease is fought by the body without us coming to know about the fact that disease has ever tried to enter into our body. Immunity manages itself in its own. So one should eat fruits, vegetables, a good balanced diet in order to develop immunity also. I hope all this what we have discussed is clear to you. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends and relatives for their good also. Thank you.